Welcome to the official training video for all judges and coaches within the Jambrands organization. The Jambrands has created a department dedicated solely to judging and scoring. Our mission at the Jamscore is to make sure that you receive the correct scores at every event. This video will discuss the updates and changes to our unified scoring system for the 2011-2012 season. Please take the time to familiarize yourself with these updates and all the categories on the Jambrands scoring system. Don't forget, the Jamscore department is here to help you. Please contact us at any time with questions about the elements within your routine. Good luck with your season. The Jambrands scoring system is based on category judging. At every event, there is a stunts and pyramids judge, a tumbling judge, and a jumps, tosses, motions, and dance judge. There is a separate judge that is in charge of the quantity categories on the score sheet, and a non-scoring head judge that monitors all the scores and makes sure they are in the correct range. Finally, there is a USASF certified safety judge and a deductions judge. New this year, each team's score will be calculated by what the maximum allotted points are per their level. For example, a level 3 team can score a maximum of 231 points. If your team scores a 218.4, then we will divide that score by 231 to get your overall percentage of 94.55%. Remember, these scores are based upon teams within your level and not relative to other levels at this event. Also new this year, we will be taking your deductions out of the category the mistakes were in, and not your overall score. All deduction mistakes will be taken out of your total point score. All safety infractions will be taken out of your total percentage score. Let's now look at the category grids and score sheets. Note that for all difficulty categories, you need a majority, which is half plus 1, of skills to get into the correct range. If a majority of the team is not executing these skills, you will be placed into a lower scoring bracket. Technique and difficulty are weighted equally, so sacrificing one element for the other could result in a lower overall placement. For all quantity categories, skills that are not executed within your level will receive a maximum score of a 5 for quantity. If no skills are executed within a certain category, then you will receive a 0 for that particular quantity score. The lowest score given in any technique category will be a 5. And if no skills are executed within a category, then you will receive a 0 for that particular technique and difficulty score. Stunts. Level 1 and Level 2 teams should execute both two-legged stunts and multiple one-legged stunts at the appropriate level by a majority of the groups to max out their stunt difficulty. Level 1 teams should execute at least a two-legged prep level stunt and one below prep level one-legged stunt to score in the mid-range of the 5 to 6 stunt difficulty category. Every one-legged body position executed beyond the first one will raise your score a 1/10 of a point until your score is maxed out at a 6.0. In this example, this team would max out their score because they executed a two-legged prep level stunt and at least 6 one-legged body positions in their routine. Level 2 teams should execute at least a two-legged extended level stunt and one prep level one-legged stunt to score in the mid-range of the 6 to 7 stunt difficulty category. Every one-legged body position executed beyond the first one will raise your score a 1/10 of a point until your score is maxed out at a 7.0. In this example, this team would receive a score of a 6.7 because they executed a two-legged extended stunt and 3 one-legged body positions. Please note, all one-legged body positions in any level need to be held for at least 2 counts to be considered a body position. All stunt difficulty and load-in, dismount, and transitional, or what we like to call LDT elements, will be cumulative throughout the routine and do not necessarily have to be executed within the same sequence. Level 3 through Level 5 teams can score in the 9 to 10 bracket for stunt difficulty. 3 body positions will get you into the range, as in this example. Here's an example of a team that would be scoring in the higher end for stunt difficulty because they executed 5 body positions. Note that the needles would not count because they are not executed by a majority of the groups. Also, when the scorpion leg changes to below the chin, this would not count as a body position because it was only held for 1 count. Again, body positions will be counted throughout the entire routine to calculate your difficulty score. For the stunt and pyramid LDT scores, judges are looking for the number of level-appropriate elements that you execute within your routine. These elements are also cumulative. A level-appropriate element is defined as an element that is allowed within your level and not the level above or below. Let's look at a few examples. Here is a level 5 team that executed 2 LDT elements, which would score them in the lower end of the LDT category for stunts. The full up in the back would not count since it was only executed by one group. Here is an example of a level 3 team that would score in the mid-range for their LDT stunt score, since they executed 3 elements. The inversion into the stunt sequence would not count because it is not a level 3 LDT element. A team that executes at least 5 stunt LDT elements within their routine will score at the top end of the bracket. The stunt quantity score is based on the number of athletes participating on the floor and how many of those athletes are needed to execute a level-appropriate stunt. We have added a separate category for co-ed stunt difficulty. To receive points for this category, you must execute a co-ed style stunt with at least 50% of the males on your team. If you have an odd number of males on your team, then you will still only need to execute a co-ed style stunt with 50% of the males based on the even number below. So, if you have 5 males on your team, you would only need to execute 2 co-ed stunts to receive a difficulty score, because we base it on the even number below of 4. This stunt can be assisted into the entry, but must be held for 2 counts unassisted to receive credit. Please take time to look over the stunt difficulty chart on the stunts grid. For level 1 and level 2 pyramid difficulty, we are looking for the number of structures you execute within your pyramid sequences. For level 3 through level 5, we are looking for the number of release moves you execute to determine your pyramid difficulty score. Please note that you must execute at least 1 structure within your pyramid as well. Here is a level 3 example of a team that would score in the low range for pyramid difficulty because they executed 2 release moves. Here is a level 4 example of a team that would score in the mid-range because they executed 3 level 4 braced inversions. 5 or more level-appropriate release moves will max out your pyramid difficulty score. This is cumulative throughout your routine, and please note that mirrored or simultaneous release moves or inversions will only count as 1 release move or inversion per occurrence. Let's now look at some examples of pyramid LDT elements. Note, for pyramids, at least one group within the pyramid must execute the LDT element, but we judge pyramids as a whole and not every group within the pyramid. Here's an example of a team that executes 2 LDT elements, an inversion in the beginning and a flipping dismount at the end. Note that the braced inversion at the end would count as an LDT element because this is how they dismounted out of their pyramid. The more LDT elements that are executed, the higher your score will be within your range. Let's now move into the tumbling portion of the scoring system. Standing tumbling. The following are examples of what can score you in the low and high end of each range for standing tumbling. Scoring in the 4 to 5 range, low end, would be forward or backward rolls, high end would be front or back walkovers. Scoring in the 5 to 6 range, low end, would be single back handsprings, high end would be skills connected to single back handsprings. Scoring in the 6 to 7 range, low end would be series back handsprings, high end would be any skills connected to series back handsprings. Scoring in the 7 to 8 range, low end would be back handspring tucks, high end would be standing back tucks. Scoring in the 8 to 9 range, low end would be back handspring layouts, high end would be jumps connected to back tucks. Scoring in the 9 to 10 range, low end would be back handspring full twists, mid-range would be standing full twists, and high end would be back handspring to double full twists. Please note that any jump connected to a standing tumbling skill will raise your score within that range. For standing tumbling synchronization, we are looking for the most level-appropriate passes executed by the most athletes at one time. This score will be represented by a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. This team would receive a score of a 5 for executing squad jumps to tucks. Even though one girl is standing in the corner, it is more than 3/4 of the team executing the skill.